The year is 1929. There are roughly 175,000 Jews living in the land of Israel, or what was then called Palestine, a name given by the Romans to erase our memory, any trace of Jews being there. Palestina. The name they gave for Jerusalem was Aelia Capitolina. Then when the Arabs took it over, they called it Al-Quds. There were about 875,000 Arabs in 1929. So 175,000 Jews, 875,000 Arabs. Roughly a 5-to-1 ratio. The Arabs hear a rumor that the Jews, who are a minority, some way, somehow, want to take over the Al-Quds compound, the Temple Mount, Al-Aqsa compound, sorry. Al-Quds is what they call Jerusalem. It just means the holy. The name they have for the Temple Mount is Beit Al-Maqdis, which is derived from the Hebrew Beit HaMikdash, house of holiness, house of what is made holy, Mekadesh. So they hear these rumors, my friends, and I'll spare you the long story. They massacre a community of Jews in the city of Hebron, which they call Al-Khalil. The Arabs call it Al-Khalil. Again, thousands of Arabs, tens of thousands of Arabs, versus 700 Jews. Horrible massacre. My friends, at the time, there is no Israeli army. There is no Israeli government. There is no IDF. I said Israeli army. There is no AIPAC. There are no F-35s. There are no B-2 bombers. There's no $3 billion to Israel. There's no UNRWA. There's no Rabbi Kahana. There's no Ben Gvir. There's no Smotrich. There's no Netanyahu. Did I mention there's no $3 billion to Israel? There's no settlers. There's no settler violence. There is no genocide. There is no occupation. There is no apartheid. There's nothing, folks. There's absolutely, literally nothing threatening the Arabs in the land at that time. If you want to say, yeah, the British were in charge, they were in charge. The Jews formed groups to kick the British out. They began forming groups. And the Jews' intention was to live in the land alongside the Arabs, for the most part. Which is precisely why when we did kick the British out in 1947, 48, we offered the Arabs to live side by side. They said no 3 times. The 3 no's of Khartoum. No recognition, no coexistence. Forgot what the third one was. So they went to war. They were defeated, and that defeat they call the Nakba, the catastrophe. We offered them again. They went to war again. We offered them again. They went to war again. But my friends, my question is, what were they resisting in 1929? Who were they resisting? Again, folks, no occupation, no American money, no embassy in Jerusalem or Tel Aviv, no IDF, big bad IDF, no settler or quote unquote settler violence, no so-called genocide, no so-called apartheid, no anything, my friends. Gurnish, zero. What were they resisting, guys? Folks, you know how I know they were resisting just the Jews? Because today, Fatih Hamad, one of the officials of Hamas, came out and said, today or yesterday, you know, this was just a preview. We're just getting warmed up. Now we're going to have to come after every single Jew in the world. Every single Jew in the world. Not just in Israel. First we start with Israel, then we go to the world. My friends, you know the expression, first they came for the Saturday people, then they came for the Sunday people? I don't know if that's even in any particular order, because you see what's going on in Europe, right? England, France, I don't have to tell you. We're about to elect somebody, not we, but the people in New York City are about to elect somebody. Where New York City may become uninhabitable, right? For anybody, much less Jews. So my friends, it was always about the Jews. They're just looking for excuses. Always looking for excuses. Which is precisely why, guys, based on what I've been saying in other videos, the removal of Jews from Gaza in 2005 led us directly to this moment. Led us directly to October 7th. It was even predicted by that doctor who was being pulled into the evacuation buses. I forget his name. Sodi. His first name is Sodi. He said, you're going to have all kinds of horrible things in Sderot and Netivot and the Philadelphia corridor. He said it's a big mistake what you're doing. Lo and behold, 18 years later, that's what we got. So my friend, the rectification for that is just to take it back and live there. Just as the famous Rabbi Israel Nachara lived there in the 16th century, when he wrote the most famous Shabbat song of all time, which no Shabbat meal can go without. It's called Yaribon. God the creator of the world, Yaribon Olam. My friends, you've been psyoped to believe that Gaza is an Arab place. Not only Gaza, but Israel. You've been literally brainwashed and psyoped to believe that. Meanwhile, these people have 20 some odd countries they live in. 20 plus. Most of those countries actually are not even theirs. They're not even the indigenous peoples of them. You have people like the Berbers and the Kurds and the Yazidis and Assyrians, and really their only country really is the Arabian, like what's on the Arabian Peninsula. You talk about Saudi, Yemen, Qatar, what today is Qatar, Bahrain, and Oman. Everything else, they are the colonizers of, my friends. So this has been one massive projection, one massive psyop. It's as simple as that, guys. And your teachers in high school and teachers in college have been just installing it in your heads, as Yuri Bezmenov said, into the soft heads of American students. And that's it. Now you can't even think straight. If you listen, somebody tries to tell you history, you can't even think straight. It's like somebody's giving you, it's called ontological shock, when you've had certain information in your head for years and years and years, and then somebody comes and says something either you never heard before or something that flies in the face of everything, all the BS that you believe. It's a shock, so you have to block it. Otherwise you're gonna have a breakdown, right? And you see what happens. We see what happens. My friends, long before there was a state of Israel and an IDF and all these so-called lobbyist groups and all the rest of it, there were Jews living in the land of Israel for the longest time. There were rabbis all over the diaspora sending their students to live in Israel. Places like Tzfat, places like Jerusalem, Hebron even. Yeah. There's a synagogue in Hebron today. Dates back to the expulsion of the Jews from Spain. 1400s, 1500s. Same goes for a synagogue, an Italian synagogue. It has a Aron Kodesh, the place where you hold the Torah scroll. I think from the 1600s. It was brought over from Milan. My friends, we have so much of this in both contemporary history and ancient history. We're the same Jews that were there at that time. We're the same Jews today. The same exact people. And no, it doesn't justify genocide. It does justify defending ourselves when those who want to do genocide on us, come and do what they did, and then they film it. They film it and they laugh about it and they're happy about it, my friends. And you support them. You know what that makes you? If you support them, it makes you a zombie at best and a demon at worst. I can't even call you an NPC. You're a demon. Like me talking to you is me talking to a demon. I'm just making this video. Hopefully, maybe some of you still have your human souls, and you can listen to information and absorb it and come to sensible conclusions. You're supporting the bad guys. And very soon, you're going to be shown how that's the case. You're going to wake up by hook or by crook. You're going to wake up. And it always happens the hard way, unfortunately. Whether you're in New York or London or Paris, Los Angeles, San Francisco. History is a broken record, guys. Without Hashem, truth is gonna prevail. Even if my video here may prove to be a fruitless endeavor, the truth will prevail. And for those of you watching who are friends of Israel, friends of the Jewish people, thank you. We thank you. And just as Hashem told Abraham, I'm going to bless you, and anybody who blesses you, I will bless. And anybody who curses you, I will curse. It's that simple, guys. Peace.